Floating selvage is used on twill patterns in order to keep your edges from ending up with random extra floats there. And you can see right here, it goes exactly through the middle. It's not threaded through a heddle. It goes through the reed, but not a heddle. So whenever you open a shed, that floating selvage stays right in the middle. Here you can see the advantage of a floating selvage. On this part, I've included the floating selvage, and here I haven't. So here's the floating selvage, but if you look at the edge of the fabric, there are long warp floats there. So what's happening is when we include the floating selvage, it's wrapping around there and including the very edge. So as you weave, you're going to make a figure 8 over it. So when you go in, you go over it, and then it comes under on the far side, and then back, we go over, and then it will come under the floating selvage here. So every single pick, it's wrapping around that floating selvage. Let's take a look at the path of a floating selvage. Right here, it appears to be part of the fabric. It is part of the fabric. Here, when we open the shed, we see that it truly is floating, and we can see on the far side there's one as well. It goes through the reed, but does not go through a heddle. It's independent of the heddles. On the back side, it continues along straight. It comes over the back beam with the warp, but at the bottom, it's weighted. Because this thread will travel a shorter path than the other warp threads, and so it needs to be weighted. And that also helps to keep your selvages straight.